It is indeed difficult. Thank you. Hi, good afternoon. As it was said, my name is Malikul Kusno Utomo, but you can call me Dimas. It's a lot simpler to pronounce. I am the head of legal and business affairs of GOJEK new venture in a new industry called the GOJEK Entertainment Group. So today, I'm going to deliver to you a story about GOJEK and its growth through speed, innovation, and social impact. But before we deep dive through the deck, I'd like to show you a short video of GOJEK introduction, which may be useful for those of you who may not know what GOJEK is. There you go. So we started in 2010, where our founders, Nadim Akari and Kevin Alvi, started a call center for on-demand OJEK service. OJEK is a two-wheeler, a motorcycle transportation service that could bring passengers from one point to another. He started in his own home, his own garage, and fortunately 5 years later, we launched our first mobile application. 2 years after, we were given the status of becoming a unicorn, and earlier this year, we are a decathlon. As you can see, the growth is staggering, and this could not be reached because of the market where we grew up in. Indonesia is one of the most populous countries in the world. We are the fourth most populous country in the world. We have 265 million people living in the country. And we have the demographic bonus. About 50% of that number is actually under 30 years of age. And by next year, about 60 to 70% of the population is going to be in the consumer class. And we were also lucky that the mobile penetration app, the smartphone mobile penetration app, is going to be about 60 to 70% as well. The growth of the country, the economic growth of the country is also staggering. We are part of the G20, and last year we booked a GDP growth of 5.2%, which is one of the highest in the world. But we're not just focusing on Indonesia. Last year, we expanded our network to to Vietnam in September 2018. And then we also expanded to Singapore in November 2018. And earlier this year, we are present in Thailand. So by operating in 4 countries, we are actually exist in 204 cities in the region. Hopefully, we are also going to expand our venture to the Philippines soon. Right now, we are being downloaded more than 130 million times. We have 400,000 merchants partnered with us. We have more than 2 million drivers partnered with us. And we have more than 60,000 talents partnered with us. Let me explain to you the difference between merchants, driver partners. and talents. But what do we do actually? We create an ecosystem of users, merchants, and service providers to address the large, unique opportunity in Southeast Asia of daily activities. So we connect app users, the consumers, with service providers and merchants via our application. So we do not own any assets, and we do not employ any of the drivers or the service providers. We are a merely tech platform. And with that business model, fortunately enough, in 2015, only took us 240 days to book more than 1 million bookings. And even more staggering, in Vietnam, it took us only 47 days. And in Singapore, it took us only 52 days to book more than 1 million bookings. So let's deep dive a bit about what GOJEK is. We have 3 values in our DNA: speed, innovation, and social impact. Speed, currently, we've reached about 5 million bookings every day of the year. So that equals to about more than 3,000 transactions every week into our system. Innovation, we start as a ride-hailing app. We start as a two-wheelers ride-hailing app. But right now, we actually have 24 services in our own app, in just one application. Social impact. We could claim that our impact could reach more than $3 billion to the Indonesian economy every year. So as I said before, we're not a ride-hailing app anymore. So we move people with motorcycles and cars. We move things with food delivery and logistics. And we move money through our own business. These are the 24 services that we offer. I'd like to take your attention to the green circle in the middle first, because that's our main service. It's transportation and logistics. The two-wheelers, we call it GoRide, for on-demand two-wheeler transport service. And then we expand to the four-wheelers, GoCar, on-demand four-wheeler transport service. We even cooperated with one of the biggest taxi company in Jakarta, in Indonesia actually, called Bluebird. And they would like to have their own icon in our application, and we call it Go Bluebird. For delivering goods, we have GoSend for the on-demand two-wheelers logistics service. For a bigger goods, like sofas, like tables, like refrigerators, for example, you can use GoBox to move goods. And we could also use GoShop for on-demand daily purchase services, any kind of purchase. On the left side, on the blue circle, we have the payment group. First of all, GoPay, the digital wallet and payment solutions. Right now, it is the 3rd biggest digital wallet in the country, in Indonesia. We even reached a bigger status than the commercial bank's digital wallet. GoBills is the one-stop service to pay bills for TV cables, for electricity, etc. And Go Nearby, it is basically navigation services for GoPay. On the right-hand side, the pink circled group, we call it Go Live. There's Go Massage for on-demand massage service. There's Go Clean for on-demand cleaning service for people probably who have apartments or houses that needs to be cleaned every day, and they could not do it by themselves. Go Glam for on-demand beauty treatment service, manicure, pedicure, you name it. Go Daily on-demand service for daily needs, such as gas for cooking, and water gallon for water dispensers. Go Laundry for laundry. Go Fix for electronic repair for your refrigerators, for your ACs, etc. Go Auto for on-demand auto services that relate to cars. And Go Pertamina for on-demand refueling services for your cars or motorcycles. Go back to the left-hand side, on the bottom, there's an orange circle. We have the Deals and Loyalty Group for Deals Marketplace. Go deals, and Go points for the loyalty program and sponsored vouchers. We have 4 sort of standalone products right now, but doesn't necessarily mean that they are small. GoFood is the on-demand food delivery services, and it was given a status that it is the biggest on-demand food delivery services in the world outside the Chinese market. GoBulsa, the online phone credit purchase service, GoMed, on-demand medicine purchase service, and GOJEK is the online ticket purchase service. So for the partners in the green circle, we call them drivers. For the partners in the pink circle, we call them talents. And for GoFood partners and GoPay partners, we call them merchants. As a reminder, in the green circle, we have more than 2 million drivers. The talents, we have more than 60,000. And the merchants for food, we have more than 400,000, which most of them are actually small and medium players. This is just an illustration of how one can use GOJEK app. Let's say we get up at 6 a.m. and we get ready. We want to have breakfast. You could use GoFood to deliver food. And then apparently your toothpaste ran out. So you could use GoShop to have the assistance of one of the drivers to purchase toothpaste for you. And then at 7 a.m., it's off to work. You can use GoCar, GoRide, GoBluebird. Let's say you have your own car and then you need to refuel. You could use GoPertamina, and obviously you can pay by GoPay. For parking, you could use GoPay as well to pay. And for trip planning, let's say if you don't go to work, you need to go to the movies, or you need to go to an event, or you need to go to a theme park, for example, you can purchase the ticket via GOJEK. At 9 a.m. work, you probably need a cup of coffee. Instead of going out from your office, you can use GoFood to buy your coffee. And then let's say you need documents to be delivered to your counterparties. You can use GoSend and ask for the driver to send it for you. Or for me myself, that I use very often, I left, let's say, my ID card at home. And so I could use GoSend to deliver the ID card, so then I could enter my own office. At lunchtime, you want to eat out, use the GoCard, GoRide, or GoBluebird. Or you want to eat in, use the GoFood and check for the Go Nearby for the nearest GoPay promotions. At 3 p.m., you need to send documents, for example, and let's say you need snack, so you use GoFood again. At 6 p.m., you want to commute back home, you can use a transportation app, or you can go to the movies with GOJEK, you can go shopping, or you can pay your bills with GoPay. So last year, with that in mind, we have completed about 116 million orders. And the total transaction value is more than $500 million US. I want to deep dive a bit into the social impact part. As I said before, our impact reached more than $3 billion US. $1.7 billion US per year is actually from the transportation app, where drivers' income increased by 42 to 45% after partnering with GOJEK. For the talents, it's not that big, $84.5 million US per year, but their income increased by 72%. What about for the GoFood merchants? It's quite staggering for us. Reached $1.2 billion US per year, and 55% of them actually saw an increase in their average revenues. So if you can see on the right side of the chart, the increase of revenue is not just within the same classification. Most of them actually increased or moving up to the next level of classification. Let's say from a 2.5 million to 5 million rupiah weekly average revenue, they jump into the 5 million to 7.5 million per year as a vacation. I do have a story. In Indonesia, we have food called martabak. Basically, it's Indonesian version of baja. It's the Korean pancake. In Indonesia, we call it martabak. It's very famous. In 2016, there's this street vendor called martabak Kumanta. They claim that before joining GOJEK with GoFood, they can only reach about 10 transactions per day. Later that year, in 2016, we invented GoFood. They joined GoFood. And by the end of that year, they reached 300 transactions per day. The following year, they opened 5 new branches in Jakarta alone. So imagine the impact with one branch employing, let's say, 4 to 5 workers. It's amazing. What about the driver's education level? Because we would like to widen the earning opportunities, right? The surprising that the data shows that 15% of them actually went to college or universities. So we believe our presence can become an intermediary between when they graduate until they actually get the job that they want in accordance with their degree. But at the same time, we're not just helping the unemployment rate, but we would like to reduce the underemployment rate. Meaning for formal workers, for example, if they have formal jobs between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., but their income is not adequate enough for their family, and after 5 p.m., they could actually join GOJEK as a driver, let's say. Or they probably could have a small business, sell food, and they join by GoFood to become a merchant. So it is not strange to say that 90% of the drivers said that their quality of life is actually better or much better. And what is also staggering that they claim about 80% of the drivers have dependents. So imagine from the 2 million drivers that have registered with us, they have one wife or a husband and then 2 kids. So our presence actually have an impact to about 8 million people. This data only in Indonesia. And we don't stop there. We give them financial access. First, health insurance. They could access health insurance with only 16 cents per day that is being deducted automatically from their GoPay, from their earnings every day through via GOJEK. Or general insurance, just $1 monthly. On-trip insurance, $1 monthly as well. Housing loan, this is actually quite famous for all the drivers. They could have savings of $3 daily, and after about 7 months of savings, they could stay in their own home. This is a subsidized housing loan program from the government as well. Loan for vehicle or electronic appliances, and Hajj savings. And these financial instruments are not actually coming from us. We partnered with an official financial players that is registered with the Financial Service Authority in Indonesia, as you can see on the right side. But that's from the social impact side. So what's next? What's next for GOJEK? Because innovation is part of our DNA. So this is the next one, entertainment group. We branched out to the entertainment ecosystem in Indonesia so we could try to dominate end-to-end live and online experience. The main reason why we ventured through this new industry is one thing. It's because we would like to increase the retention and engagement rate of the users. There are 3 products in the entertainment group: GoPlay, GoStudio, and Look at and GoFix. And we only started this group last year. So what is GoPlay? GoPlay is basically an OTT platform. So we would like to have an advanced product feature with a strong GOJEK brand and a huge customer base because GoPlay is part of GOJEK. And we are so happy that we just launched it, the beta version of GoPlay actually 2 weeks ago on the 28th of June. And till last week, we already have more than 10,000 beta testers. What about, so the content strategy. Right now we have more than 160 hours in the library of contents. 97% of them are actually Indonesian title, so it's Indonesian content. Why we do this? Because data shows that Indonesian would like to see Indonesian contents more, and this even applied in our predecessors, the competitors. Their Indonesian contents actually reach a more number of minute watch instead of Western contents. But not just Indonesian, a small percentage is actually Asian contents. The majority of that small percentage is actually Korean content. And from the past 2 weeks, even though it's only about 3% of the number of hours of library, Korean content reached 8% of the total minute watch. So we definitely would like to extend and cooperate more with the Korean content providers. What about GoStudio? GoStudio is basically the supply of contents to GoPlay. So we develop, produce, and distribute our own content. Since last year, our original contents that made premiere to the movie theaters actually already watched by more than 1 million people. And more than 3 of them actually screened on international film festivals. And going forward, we are producing more than 10 original content, one of which is partnered with Warner Brothers from the United States. What we do, we also format licensing to produce the content. We also invest in talents and crew, and the shooting location is going to be primarily in Indonesia because of the cost. The cost of production in Indonesia is a lot less, even compared to the neighboring countries such as Singapore. The last one is Loket and GOJEK. So Loket provides all-in-one services for event management, for ticket management services. This is the B2B. This is the service for event owners or event creators. What about GOJEK? GOJEK is the B2C. We sell tickets directly to the consumers. Over the past year, we have more than 10 million tickets sold. And we created and partnered with more than 10,000 events. Interestingly enough, 15 of them actually Korean-related events. And we've sold more than 35,000 in that events. So we create, we collaborate the events, we manage the ticket system, we have distribution partners as well for the ticketings, and also we produce comprehensive audience analytics, especially that is very useful for the event owners. With that in mind, I conclude my presentation. Thank you. Welcome for Q&A.
Thank you, Molecular Personality
You can call me
for your
Thomas.
presentation. Okay, we have to check the Slido.com, where there's 2 questions over here. The number 1 is Grab is increasing its market share by increasing investment in Indonesia. It is already a monopoly share in other Asian countries. Is there a plan for this?
Sure, this is a very interesting question. With Uber left the market and joined Grab, And some of the markets in Southeast Asian countries, they monopolize the right-hand market, which is one of the main reasons why we ventured through Singapore, Vietnam, and Thailand over the past 6 to 8 months is because we are being supported to enter to the market to stop the monopolization. Grab is definitely one of our biggest competitors, and of course we would like to have our own share of the market share in those markets.
Okay, the second question. In the case of South Korea, conflicts are high with mobility platform and the exciting tax industry. How did you solve this part?
So this is interesting. Me myself actually was joined GOJEK a couple of years ago, more than a couple of years ago, as a SVP for Public Policy and Government Relations. So this is actually my part of portfolio to solve for GOJEK. So over the first year, it was a challenge. It was a challenge to face government officials, especially from emerging economies like Indonesia. And especially local governments outside Jakarta. But I do have one principle. That would be intensive communication. If you have a face-to-face meetings, and then you explain the impact, what you bring to the national economy, or even domestic economy, the stakeholders would open their mind and would think, would it be better to support the traditional industry or to support this new technological player who enter into the market and bring a lot of jobs to their region? Fortunately enough, after serious meetings from top high-level governments, even from the president himself, to as low as region, the local have regional. Currently, we could say we go hand in hand with the government because they support our business.
Okay, so competitions with Grab, what is the biggest different point and strategy for them?
Interesting question.
Yes, there's a lot of interesting questions.
The difference between Grab and GOJEK is GOJEK is headquartered in Jakarta, in Indonesia. We do our own innovation. Let's say for the Indonesian market. If the headquarters is not in Jakarta, you're not going to have leverage to expand the innovation into 24 different services. And that's the biggest difference between us and Grab. Right now, Grab probably have about 5 to 6 services. Most of them are pretty much similar with ours. So that's the biggest differentiation. We diversify our products, we diversify our services, and those services are based on a social impact.
Yeah, so investment plan, if you raise the money from VC in the near future, what will you do by the money? Marketing or expanding service or later?
There are a lot of things. Our founder, Nadiem Makarim, is an innovative guy. So innovation is not going to stop. Every time we raise money, there's always a need of capital to expand our services. Not just from the current market, but also to expand to new markets. Let's say hopefully we're going to expand to Philippines, hopefully. So that's pretty much going to be the main reason why we still keep on fundraising.
Next, and why were your major difficulties when your company expand business to many SEA countries?
It's one of the biggest predicaments is actually finding a suitable local partner and talking to the government officials. At first, it was a bit difficult, but because we have precedents, because we have Indonesia as an example, it's a lot simpler than before expanding from Jakarta market to secondary and tertiary cities in Indonesia. Expanding to Vietnam and Singapore right now, we only serve to the big cities in those countries. And so it's I guess a lot simpler because it's a top-down approach.
Okay, and then in the case of South Korea, complete and high with the mobility platform and the existing tax industry. How do you solve this part? I think I already asked you, right? Sorry. And I have two questions. And first, what is your company seems to do everything? It is like combinations of Uber, Alibaba, and Netflix. What's your core competitiveness?
So, interesting. We diversify the service, and that would be our core competitiveness. We start as a ride-hailing app. Ride-hailing, the two-wheelers, is still the biggest service that we carry out. But even if with that, we have the 24 services that we offer is becoming, users can use it for their daily activities. And people are calling it as a super app right now. Because every time, every day, we could use our app. And that's definitely our main competitiveness.
Okay, and second one is your company currently is making profit?
So that's the beauty of diversification as well. In those 24 services, there are some that are making profits, and there are some that still face some challenges. But that's the beauty of balancing and diversification.
Do you believe that your GOJEK or Grab can success if you expand your business to Seoul or anywhere in South Korea?
Okay, this is also an interesting question because I guess we have not made any analysis to venture through the East Asian market. So I can definitely really answer that question. What we do, we would like to focus to expand the Southeast Asian market first.
And next, how GOJEK has taken care of the quality of its drivers according to local newspaper, case of scam and sexual harassment seems to have been reported.
Sure. This is also what I did in the first year of my time with GOJEK. So, if you would like to register a driver, we require 4 documents. First is your ID card, national ID card. Second is the driver's license. Third is the evidence of ownership of the vehicle. And third is a letter of good behavior from the police. Those 4 documents are basically the simplest requirement that we actually require for drivers to register. After they register, we ensure them to come to our office, our field office, in every city where we operate, where we conduct an intense training, 48-hour training, back-to-back, in order to carry out the service. We also apply guidelines for the drivers, what they can do, what they cannot do. Even though there are some reports, there are sanctions if they do something that we forbid them to do. Sanctions could fall into penalties, but the biggest one would be deleting them from the driver's registration. So they could not register again in the GOJEK app.
Can you tell us a bit more about GoVenture and what your corporate investments will be focusing on?
Oh, somebody has GoVentures. Cool. I didn't mention that in my presentation. So GoVentures is also a new, I guess, business unit at GOJEK. We only established it about 4 months ago, 4 months ago. And they are focusing on startups, business startups, and other tech companies that can support the GOJEK business overall. So we, the LPs, give them mandate that the investees is going to be startups that can integrate with the GOJEK business overall. The specific example would be the GOJEK, the delivery of medicine. The GOJEK is actually, service is being carried out by a startup that is invested by GOJEK or Go Ventures called HelloDoc. That's one example.
It seems infrastructure of transportation needs to be improved in Jakarta. Do you find any difficulties to expand ride-hailing service in the city?
Totally agree that the infrastructure in Jakarta still needs to be improved. But that's the area where we see opportunity. When people is facing big predicaments of moving themselves from one point to another without, let's say, facing traffic. So they could use motorcycles that can circumvent roads, the traffic, even better than cars.
And what are you planning for the world of the future mobility, specifically when it comes to the autonomous driving technology?
Well, I guess also a few months ago, there's a lot of questions. Also,
There's a lot of questions.
a few months ago, we launched our own mobility service. It is still in the pilot program right now. There are about, I think, 5,000 vehicles, four-wheelers that are going to have mobility in their cars to give ads.
And next one. In the early days of GOJEK, how were you able to provide your service to different areas of Indonesia? Will various bahasa Indonesia were spoken?
I guess, well, Bahasa Indonesia, it's one language that is understandable to all Indonesians. Probably what it means is the different local language. Let's say from eastern part of Java versus the western part of Java, the people there, they actually speak different languages. But our app uses Bahasa Indonesia, so the Indonesian language where everybody understands.
Understood, you diversify service based on the Indonesian local demands. Then how do you localize your service when expanding to other countries?
Great. So I would like to take into an example of Vietnam. The reason why we have local partner is so that we could have familiarity of the market. And over there we call it GoViet. And the main color, other than from our main purpose, but the main color over there is actually red and yellow, in accordance with the Vietnamese flag. Or in Thailand, people would probably difficult to pronounce GOJEK. So we call them GEK, one syllable, just how the Thai people call Chinese with one syllable. And the color is actually yellow. And we also do have a local partners in Thailand.
I think there's last question. Or do you have any question? Any question? Anyway? Okay, so already we have time to 20 minutes. I asked one more time. Do you have any question for Nier? Okay. Are we will pass the microphone.
Hi, thanks for your talk. I came a bit late, but so far really enjoyed it. My question is really, when I look at WeChat and GOJEK and Grab, the main differentiator is that WeChat started as a chat app, whereas Grab and GOJEK don't currently have the same sort of functionality, although you can chat with your drivers and your license. So in terms of the various verticals, various services that you're aiming to provide on your platform, are you aiming to expand more to chat and other verticals, or are you looking more for horizontal expansions?
Again, so that's the beauty of innovation. The dynamics is just so fast. Me myself worked at GOJEK for 1 to 2 years now. Before I worked with the private equity firm who invested first at GOJEK. But ever since, it's staggering how we moved from a small office into, right now we're occupying 6 floors of shopping malls. And let's say the chatting. The chat app, we actually launched it a month ago. It's not an actual app, but it's a chat feature. So we see that this is very important, not just for chatting with the drivers, but between GoPay users. So because there's a P2P feature, and we chat very useful.
How about the other question? And yours? Because we have little more than 20 minutes. I hope someone asks some question. And yours? Okay, so thank you for being here with us. And this will close this session. Thank you. 네, 이것으로 네 번째 세션을 모두 마치겠습니다. 말리쿨 쿨스노 유튜브님께 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.